Everybody, this is Swiss reporting live from the Decentraland 2.0 client launch. What's the big deal with this client? We've been waiting for this for quite some time now, and finally it's live. People have been testing it in the alpha version over the last couple of weeks, and now we get to see it live, accessible to anyone logging into Decentraland. So now when you open up the Decentraland client, you will have to download an additional piece of software. Now I know a lot of you who have been in Decentraland from the beginning have used Decentraland directly in the browser, but we had increasingly performance issues, and eventually I also switched over to the first Decentraland client, which kind of offered a decent performance, less lags. But now we do have a client 2.0, and I wanted to just take you a little bit around and show you what some of the changes are. Now I've been on and off in Decentraland for multiple months, so I'm not 100% up to speed about every single change that is relevant. Yes, in the past I was, but right now I need to catch up and do a lot of homework to see what has actually changed. But I think the most striking thing is really the visual difference. As you can see, the colors are just a little bit more crisp. Everything is a little bit smaller, a little bit more refined, a little bit more high res, and I don't know, it just looks juicy and I don't know, a little bit more cartoony even. Now I know a lot of people who are interested in the metaverse are not necessarily into the cartoony visuals. They want to have realistic environments. Me personally, I actually do love these cartoon style characters, and they're not anime style. I don't like anime style metaverses, but I do love this design here. And with the client 2.0, they've just doubled down on some of these elements. I really love how the colors and how the wearables look here in the new version of Decentraland. And now for the record, you are not hearing any sound in the background, so there are a lot of sounds here. We can hear steps, and we hear certain emotes, and when I use the mouse and click on items, you do hear things. Now since we cannot use the OBS software package to record this, and I do want to have some footage out right away, you will just have the most raw the most raw footage you can get. And as you can see, roughly probably around 50 people showed up here, and it's not bad. I mean, Decentraland has been very quiet over the duration of the bear market in the crypto space, so now to just bring in 50-60 people at any point in time is actually pretty good. But that's not the point of this video. I really want to take you around the environment and show you a little bit how things look, and just show you also how the avatar is interacting with the environment. Have a look what happens if I get closer to this object, for example. No, that was not intended. Let's just try to lean on some building. As you can see, what they have done is that you interact with your environment by pushing with your hand against walls. These little details totally make a difference, I feel like. When you get closer to an object, it's just interacting with it. The body of the avatar is it feels more alive, feels more real. And as you can see, and this is probably one of the most important changes here, is that the draw distance, the distance how far you can see, has been significantly increased, and I think this is a total game changer. So I'm using the shift button to run faster. This was just something I picked up in another game, but this is amazing actually that I can run faster now too. This is a new addition. This is actually something that I will talk to you about in another video, about the actual roadmap that Decentraland has published in one of their blog posts, and they are talking about putting more importance on map discovery, basically discovering the world by walking the map. This hasn't been necessary until now, because we usually have this map functionality where you can immediately jump into into a new location. But the problem with this is that you don't get to explore the map, and this kind of diminishes the value of the land, which is an NFT and which is quite pricey in Decentraland, even in the bear market. So we do want to bring those people onto those Decentraland streets, walk those streets and explore what people build. And there has been a lot of building in Decentraland. If you haven't been coming back for a couple of years, you probably still believe that it's a wasteland, but it's not. Things have changed, not dramatically, I have to say, but there has been a lot of building going on and people have been trying and experimenting. So let's see, I've tried to teleport now. As you can see, we are stuck at 20% here. I'm not sure this is actually going to work. So yeah, I mean, it's the beta version. So what I will do now, I will quickly pause the recording, and I will be back with you as soon as oh no, here we go. It managed to get back. Wonderful. Now this is a pleasant surprise. Let's see. There is a little bit of performance problems, but it's not as bad as it used to be. I'm actually now back on the map, and just pay attention how far I can see. Now if we jump on top of a building somewhere, we can actually see all the way to the horizon, I imagine. Maybe we can find a building like this and see how this would actually look. Let's see. But just also pay attention how many buildings are here in Decentraland already. This is like a lot of it has been put together by brands that join Decentraland, but also by people who have been experimenting. You can see some of these builds are extremely unsophisticated. This is stuff that we kind of used to experiment with in 2020, but there are a lot of very sophisticated buildings now, as you can see in the far distance. And I believe what we are seeing here ahead of us is actually the Genesis Plaza, which has been redesigned as well. So yeah, I'm rambling on right now, but I think the point is really to have a look around and get a feel for... Let's interact with this bench. So there is a little bit of performance issues here, as you can see. I got stuck there for a moment, but not majorly. Before, we used to have these issues that parcel ahead of you used to like take time to load, and you couldn't pass through that area that has not loaded yet. We haven't experienced this just at all. I can almost fluidly run at at the highest resolution through Decentraland, and I can see far. It looks awesome. The experience is different. I know you don't hear any sound from interacting with the environment in the recording. Hopefully we will get OBS to work in the future, otherwise we will have to come up with a different solution. But I think it's great to have some footage out already early, so I'm sorry for the inconvenience. So there has been a lot of changes also in the menu items here. So the backpack has been completely redesigned. As you can see, you can access your NFT wearables now from this kind of overview, which is looking very, very professional and sophisticated. I think it's a little bit slow at times still, but it has to load those wearables from your crypto wallet. So I wonder if this can be improved. So you have your emotes here. This has been really something that Decentraland has doubled down on, to provide all sorts of emotes that you can design yourself, buy and sell. The map, I think the map has been significantly improved as well. To be honest, I don't remember how the map looked originally, but I think it looks pretty crisp, and I think all the settings all look clean and slick. Is there anything else that is very obvious here? I mean, obviously the nearby chat is something that has been a major issue. Like the communication question has always been open in Decentraland. Can you use in-world voice? How should the chat be designed so you only see relevant messages and not all of the messages that happen in the world? And how should this be kind of integrated with the adoption of the platform? The more people join, the more you probably want to segregate those conversations. As you can see, I've now kind of zoomed out and I'm seeing myself run from a distance, and I think this is kind of cool as well, that you can change perspectives on multiple levels here, first person view as well. So this is probably going to be something approximating the VR experience, which we are expecting to come sometime in 2025, based on what I have heard. So as you can see, for those who are not familiar with the Decentraland concept, you can actually own this land, and most of this land is already owned, sold and resold and built on. So people who have 3D designer skills or who have access to these skills can actually commission a building and buy land and have a personal piece of land on this map. And if we believe that Decentraland can actually reach its objective, or our objective of it becoming a key component of the metaverse, a place where people jump off into other experiences in the metaverse, like a big first map that is kind of the centerpiece of the future metaverse.